So you said this is the first time you played the main. What put you over the edge to actually drop the 10K and go into it?
I mean, it was pretty interesting actually. I had a few weeks booked out there. I was going to play the mini main and like the 1500 PLO knockout, and then my mind kind of changed. I wasn't going to go out there at all, and then probably 8 hours before like World Series Game 6, my buddy said, "Hey, you want to go down to Houston and see Game 6?" I said, "Yeah, sure, we'll go." So we went down there. Obviously, that turned into a long night. We took a red eye over to Vegas, and then I stayed for almost 3 weeks.
Oh, snap. So it truly was an impulse flight out to Vegas after the World Series. The bad beat is coming back. And just like last time, everyone is going to be a winner. That's right, if you're in any Texas Card House location when it hits, you get $100 cash. And with each day crossed off the calendar, the bad beat hand gets easier and easier to hit. So this winter season, why not get out of the cold and be playing poker at Texas Card House? Houston, Dallas, Rio Grande Valley, or Austin. No matter which poker table at Texas Card House you sit, you can and will win when the bad beat hits. We will give you cold, hard cash, $100 into your hand. Tens of thousands of dollars were handed out last time. Don't get left in the cold with Texas Card House.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to TCH Live for our 20K guaranteed Saturday tournament. This is Derek, and I'm joined by Nick Rigby here, our special guest tonight. How are you doing, man?
Good. How's it going, everyone?
Yeah. If you all are unfamiliar with Nick Rigby, he's the one that played the Dirty Diaper, the 3-deuce for the main event this past October, and we're gonna see him tomorrow too, actually, for the 510 stream, right?
Yep. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun tomorrow.
All right, so let's get right into the action here. Thomas here is gonna raise it up with the Ace-3 suited of hearts to 80K, and looks like Zozimo here is gonna defend in the big blind. All right, flop comes ace high, all spades. A little something for both of them. Top pair for Thomas. Middle pair for Zozimo. I can see him continuing here. As his middle pair with the gut shot straight. And it looks like we have a good cast of regulars here making the final table here. We got Randy in seat 2, Zozimo seat 3, Johnny in seat 4. A lot of cast of regulars here, and he binks the straight right off the turn here. Wow, running good. Let's see how Zozimo approaches with this flush draw on the flop here. He might just lead out, and he doesn't like to do that, and I like that play.
Yeah, he's got to lead out there.
Yeah, he can't let any free cards come off with the spades out there. Very tough spot for Thomas to continue here, just top pair, weak kicker.
2/3 pot, he's going to let it go.
Oh, it must
he bet 1/3 here.
And he does take it down. Nice pot for Zozimo right off the bat here. So I guess while we got some downtime here, we can look at the chip stacks. We got Billy here, bottom of the leaderboard with 5 big blinds. And Randy here, leading the pack with 2.6 million, about 33% of the chips in play. And if I remember correctly, Travis, our turn director, said she's been leading the tournament since the first break. So
yeah,
she had.
She sat down at my table earlier, and she had about 650,000 within 5 minutes. She was
Wow.
She was about 1.1 within 5 minutes
Louise.
of my table. So.
Okay, yeah, he mentioned that she had like 570K the first break of the tournament, which is insane. So she's just been leading the pack this whole time. And so I guess you ended up playing the tournament this morning?
Yeah, I ended up getting like 34th, 35th, somewhere right there, right outside the money.
Yeah, and you mentioned to me earlier you were planning to try to make the final table, which is, it's understandable.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to creep in there and just,
I like it.
Mid-cash. I was playing for the final table.
Aggressive play is good.
So.
See y'all in the chat. Pez, how you doing? DFS Brat, how's it going, man? Iron by AD, a lot of regulars here. Jedi Master Ted, how you doing? Good to see y'all all in the chat. We got 110 of y'all in there. Carlos here opening the King 10 off in the cutoff. Imagine Johnny will defend here. He is a bit short, though. Imagine he'll go with any flush draw or pair here. And he does flop top pair. Going all in on the flop, just like I thought he would if he hit something. And imagine Carlos here is just posturing. I can't imagine he'll call this off here. Even though he does give him an insane price. But
yeah.
He has to know he's just drawing to the jack.
Yeah, he's going to call.
And he does end up calling. Johnny way in the lead here. Set the double up. 4 on turn helps no one. And deuce on the river. And Johnny doubles up through Carlos. Nice hand, Johnny.
Big blind special.
So I guess while we got some downtime here, can you give us some background on the whole 3-deuce hand and the dirty diaper? I know, it got pretty famous towards the late towards the main event, right? Day 5, day 6.
Yeah, I mean, we played a lot at home. My one buddy was on camera saying we played like the 7-deuce game. I mean, that's been done before, but that's not like a regularity where,
right.
Every time we're getting together to play, that's what we're doing.
And where are you from?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Very cool. Anyone from Pennsylvania in the chat? Let's see.
So yeah, a lot of times, more or less, our one buddy, Dan Wolf, who he's played on a few live stream games. His self-anointed nickname is Baby Dick. He plays it often. So, I mean, you'll see him win a pot with it, just start yelling at the top of his lungs, throws a diaper in people's faces. So, I remember he was pretty impressed. The first time I played it, it was on the blog for the World Series, and he immediately screenshot it and sent it to me, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I think one of the more famous hands ever a lot of people saw was the one you bluffed the kings out of the pot.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, that was kind of like the just like the peak of that run with the 3-deuce.
Hold on, looks like we got a hand here. Carlos going all in the hijack with ace-queen suited.
Fold around.
Definitely a big shove there, I think, but especially with the chip leader directly to your left.
What are the blinds right now?
Could not tell you. It looks like 20-40.
Yeah, there we go.
I guess it's about a 20 big blind shove.
A little aggressive with ace-queen suited.
Yeah, I guess I'd be a little concerned with the big stack to my left with Randy directly to my left. And if she wakes up to the hand, she's just going to stack you right off. He does get it through and chips up a little bit. Jack Kenov, what does first place play? I think it was about $19,500. Not much for anyone here.
Could see her opening here. Yep.
Being massively lead here, I could see this as an open, and she does elect to open here. a little bit more than 3x.
Yeah, with 10 bigs, I see him folding here, but
This would, he'd have to commit a quarter of his chips and a quarter of his stack.
he looks like he likes it though.
We've seen crazier things on stream. It wouldn't be unheard of. Man, he's really thinking about this.
I mean, her range of opening from the hijack there is chip leader is pretty big, but I don't think 8-6 where you make your stand.
Maybe if you're a little deeper and in the big blind, you're incentivized to call there and defend, but yeah, with someone to your left there. And Justin does fold in and gets through. Another chip up for Randy.
Yeah, so what was interesting about the 2-3-2 is it kept showing up on the blog in some interesting spots. And then I believe they actually posted online kind of chronicling every time I played it.
Every time you played the 3-deuce.
And that was before I even made that big bluff with it.
Wow.
So it was kind of just like the stage was set for that.
Yeah, I think another one I saw was you were in a 3-way all-in with 3-deuce.
Yeah, the price wasn't too far off on that one.
Yeah, you covered them by a lot.
Once I cold called the first bet, I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah, you priced yourself in there. That would have been one for the. That'd be one for the the records there if you knock both of them out somehow.
I did fold it 1 or 2 levels right before that, and I folded it face up and I told the guys I'd let them live, and I would have been up against kings and ace king. The flop was 6-2-3. I would have knocked 2 people out. That was the only time I folded it too. A few of my buddies said that's the only hiccup I made in the whole tournament.
Oh, I was folding the 3-deuce in that in that hand. All right, if you're just now joining us here tonight, this is the final table of our Saturday 20K guaranteed $365 buy-in. This is Derek or Data in the live stream, and I'm joined here by Nick Rigby. I think as they said it on the YouTube video, said World Series of Poker sensation Nick Rigby.
Main event sensation.
Yeah, main event sensation Nick Rigby. All right, Carlos with the mystery hands rating up is Zozimo, going to 3-bet with the pocket 10s and hijack. A lot of pocket pairs getting folded out. Both Carlos and Zozimo are pretty deep, so I'm definitely really curious to see what he has, and we're never going to know. Nice hand for Zozimo. And as you can see on the screen here, the payouts, and we got quite the jump from 9th to 1st.
About 10x.
2,000 all the way to 19,500, almost 20K for first. And a lot of the dealers here at PCH, we kind of have a joke among us, like the guarantee for the tournament a lot of time can be the first place prize.
Yeah,
that's how big our tournaments get here.
That was another thing that factored in right towards the money where I kind of ramped up aggression was, I think 29th paid 950. So,
wow.
So I kind of looked at it like we're going big or going home in this one for sure.
Yeah, I think actually I talked to my dad about the main event before I came here to do the commentary, and I was telling him that I was commentating with someone that was in the main event, and I told him what place you ended up getting. He was surprised that it wasn't higher, I guess, because I was like, no, and that's how tournaments are. They're super top heavy.
Yeah.
Because I told him what place you got. He's like, oh, did you get like 300K for it? I was like, oh, he got it 150, but it's that's just how tournaments roll.
Super top heavy. So I'm taking the Zozimo's a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, he's a regular here in the TCH tournaments, and yeah, he plays very aggressively for sure. Which a lot of the time that when people are worried about the pay jumps, it pays off in the final table.
Yeah,
as you can see here. And he has the chips to do it too, which I like. Yep. Another 100K added to the stack. And I think Zozima might actually end up getting one of the best seat draws. Looks like with Randy on his right.
Yeah.
Because she's also a very aggressive player.
Absolutely.
As you probably saw in in the tournament yourself.
Yeah, I only played one level with her, but she came off as not scared to put it in. So.
Oh no, she is definitely not scared.
It'll be interesting to see those two square off.
Yeah, actually, both Randy and Zozima will have a couple final table accolades under their belt. I don't know if they've ever won it, but they've both been on the final table at least 3 or 4 times each.
Joe W. When you want yellow, Milo. Joe W. When you're interested in Milo. Table 17.
Iron Bite, you saying the stream is fuzzy here? I think it's good on our end. I'll have that checked out though. Thomas doesn't like to go all in on the button with 7-8 of hearts. Definitely an aggressive play there, and looks like it's getting done. Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of tight play in the early stages of this final table. As no one wants to get busted out first.
Yeah,
first in the
Mark
final
and
table.
Billy have not opted to throw it in there yet, but I imagine that time's coming here shortly.
They're serious. Zach, you want to go to 12?
I'm serious too.
Yeah, only 2 short stacks and a lot of middling stacks and 3 rather large stacks. So we can see some play in this final table, I think.
Yeah, it should be fun with the 2 aggressors being the top 2 stacks for sure.
Sure, do you need like a pad or anything?
We'll have 2 when I get out there. It rolls back.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
If you need something, let me know.
Yeah, I had another over here.
Okay.
I think I have it now. No, another one. Oh, I was like, I have one under my behind.
All right, Iron Bite's good now? All right.
Just the seal
Very
with
nice.
the
Thanks for letting me know, though. Mark waking up with a hand here in the small blind. Oh, wow, it should be. Oh, wow. What a cooler here. Small against big, ace-jack against 5s, pure flip. Mark at risk. Mark needs to fade.
Picks up some more outs. Even more outs.
And he, wow, and the counter
Comes
fit.
right in.
Nice hand from Mark. Carlos's 5s get counterfeited by Mark's ace-jack, and he does double up. Nice hand there for him, because he was getting a little short there towards the end.
You'd rather just an ace comes, right? Yeah. A little bit less demoralizing.
Nothing like a post hand needle.
Or jack.
Yeah. Yeah, slight needle there from Randy.
There you.
Tell me for 2-5. Tell me 2-5.
Yeah, nothing really there could have been done, or could have been done there by Carlos. I mean, you get shoved on by the small blind and the big blind, you wake up with the pair. It's
Yeah,
sorry, I
those
just
hands
can't
get
standard
my-
call for sure. With those stats.
That's why they set me over here. They did my arms wouldn't reach out.
Sid asks, how many entrants were there? I believe we had 277 entrants.
Yep.
And then the money bubble, I think, was out on 30th, I believe, right?
Correct,
Was it
yeah.
paid 30 places? Johnny here waking up with a premium. Big slick.
Oh, I didn't think it was 175.
Making it a little more than 4x.
Yeah, kind of an aggressive sizing from him.
And
Yeah, he's pretty much committing himself here if someone puts them all in. So he's pretty much telling people, if you decide to put me all in, I'm snap calling this.
Yeah.
And he does take it down.
Two Splenda things. Two Splendas.
I had a lot of 3 and 4X size in the World Series for sure.
Oh, you saw that a lot in the World Series?
For myself, yeah.
Oh, from your...
I mean, a lot of people are opening up at like 1.25. And 3X, 4X, I mean, it just puts people in uncomfortable situations.
Right,
for sure.
yeah, it's not what they're... When you put people out of their comfort zone, it definitely can pay off sometimes.
Yeah, they're just, I mean, they're trying to live for the next day and get a bag. I mean, that's not the spot they want to see.
So it seemed like that worked out for you towards as it got closer towards the money bubble.
Yeah, for
using
sure.
those
I mean, you have guys
sizings.
that, would be in position with ace-10, and they're just sitting there just hemming and hawing. I mean, they don't even want to play a pot there.
I guess a lot of what, looks like we got a hand here. Cicero kid waking up with kings. A lot of variable sizes here. We saw 175 early, now we're at 150. Thomas electing to fold the suited ace. I don't mind that fold, especially when Cicero's not that deep. He raises with very strong hands from that position. Wow.
There we go.
And Zozima with waking up with aces, just running good. This should be an all-in and snap call by Cicero kid.
He said all in. I call, I got kings.
And he's going to wake up to the bad news. I got aces, Zozimo. Wow, what a cooler here on the final table. And it's not a small pot either. 920K in the middle. Can he fade the king or spade?
He does have a spade.
Oh, wow.
Send a pot here. All right, find me.
And the king on the river, inconsequential king on the river, as Cicero gets the flush on the turn.
He hit it every which way.
Wow. And that could have been a big one for Zozimo if he won that pot. I mean, he still has 1.2 million, but Cicero gets some life there when he wakes up in the nightmare position with kings against aces.
Absolutely.
Wow. That is not what you want to see when you have kings or aces in this case. But nice hand, Cicero kid, and he's got to be breathing a sigh of relief after that spade hit the turn.
Ladder up. Yeah.
That was quite a blow to Zozimo's stack, but I think he still has about 1.2 million.
Yeah,
so
he's still in good shape.
He's got some chips to work with.
Cicero's got him talking to himself, but he's still in good shape.
Wish that other guy was here.
Wow.
I'm an asshole. I told him I hated that hand. We were sitting at this table earlier, and I had aces, and Tuesday everybody had everything around it. I was crapping my.
That was one hand I did not get with high frequency out in the World Series was pocket aces.
Maybe there were 45 people.
If you had to take a guess at how many times I got him during the 6 days, what would you think?
Oh, man. Golly, but, I mean, how many hours y'all play each day?
That's why I raised so much. I hate both of those hands.
I'm going to go with 2.
Yeah, it was 3.
3? Wow. That is some patience. How many times do you get ace-king, though? I mean, that's I'm sure significantly more, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, significantly more, but...
But you think at least, like... Oh, and speaking of ace-king, we got Billy here with ace-king suited here, going all in the +3.
Yeah, and she's gonna call this pretty quickly.
Yeah, Brandy with the suited ace here, and only having to commit, very small percentage of
I think
stack.
Thomas is gonna come along as well.
Thomas is getting an insane price here.
Yeah, especially since he opened with that. I mean, I don't think it's a question.
He is
He'll
getting.
come along.
I mean, look at based on the percentage, he is getting the right price to call, with 40K to win 460.
It'll be interesting to see if these two go into a dry side pot together.
All right, Billy here having to fade a lot here to not get eliminated. Is that ace and 2 diamonds?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, and he just flops to world. Randy might actually be surprised that she's not going to win this pot. Randy needs an 8 and an 8 only.
Oh, 5, 6 of hearts is gonna come in.
Oh my!
No, he hit diamonds.
Oh, he hit diamonds?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see that. The offsuit 8 is what she needed.
Yeah, she was drawn pretty thin there.
And the straight came in too, right? Or almost?
Nice hand, sir.
Oh, no, it didn't. Nice hand for Who was that? Martin?
Billy, I thought.
Or Billy. Yeah. Nice hand for Billy there, the double. Or I guess triple there.
You would have had a flush draw? You would have had hit
I
flush?
had hearts.
That's the
Maximum
order.
hearts.
You want yellow? DTBT or yellow?
Victoria Narden. Go Randy, girl power. Yeah, only woman left in our Saturday final table.
Did you have an ace?
No, that's why I said I'm sitting pretty when you both have
An
the aces.
ace, yeah. I didn't know.
That's incredible though. Only three times in the entire main event.
Yeah. Yeah, I never got any big hands, and by day 5, like at the end of day 5, I obviously had a great image going to day 6, and I kept telling myself, all right, you know, the big hands are going to start coming, and I'm going to get paid with them for sure. Especially when you're opening like 3x, 4x. When, you know, people do decide to get a hand versus you, I mean, they're going to shove, really, you know, so
How much?
the hands really just never came.
Looks like we got Thomas here going all in the plus one with ace 9 suited. Slightly more than 10 blinds. Yeah. Seems like a little bit light of a shove that early in position, but we do see Randy here reshoving with the pocket 7s with the best hand. You know, she does have the best hand, but she's not going to like the spot she's in when she wakes up committing that much of her stack.
Classic
Oh, I
quick.
thought you had pocket nines.
So Randy needs to fade an ace or a 9 here. Nothing there.
Come on. Give me something.
And a 7 on the river gives Randy trips, though she didn't need it, and eliminating Thomas here in 9th place.
Come get mama a hug.
Congratulations to Thomas, but though I know not the result that he wanted. You know, I mean, he has to be proud that they made it to the final table. And Randy just extending her chip lead here, now with 3.1 million chips. It's incredible. Just running over this final table.
Good game, sweetheart.
Thomas out in 9th place for $2,032. Next place will pay $2,558, $500 pay jump.
Albert, how many seats got? Dexter, how many seats got? Dexter, how many seats?
All right, those of you all just joining us, you got Derek and Nick Rigby in the booth. So if you have any questions for us, don't be afraid, don't be shy, throw it in the chat, and we'll get around to answering them, I guess.
NP, DJ Dan, JC, and Nick for 2-5.
Bunch of rags for everyone here. Zima on the cutoff with ace deuce off.
I imagine he'll open here.
Yeah, he.
Oh,
Oh, and he does. He elects not to.
It's going to be table 13.
Must have picked up on something. Johnny here limping on the button with king 10 off.
$120 bet.
Cicero kid electing for the more aggressive route, raises in.
Just jump up in the face.
Yeah, I mean, on the button there, I'd like to see him open with a hand like
With the
king 10 off.
absolutely. Is this decide to call? Going 2 ways to the flop. And a king high flop gives Johnny the lead. Just let it shove and take it down.
That's a part, be careful.
Nice hand, Johnny. Oh, it looks like we got a question here for you, Rigby. From Levi Southern. How did it feel getting your bluff through at the feature table? I think they're referring to that 3 deuce against kings.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably one of
Save you a penalty.
the great, you know, one of the greatest feelings in the main for sure. Other than getting first, I mean, it's big spots like that when you're in the spotlight under the lights.
Yeah, I guess what was going through your mind is like, I'm gonna look like a genius if this works. Or I'm just gonna look like
Oh, or I'm gonna get ridiculed.
Yeah. And I think everyone was like, "Oh, this is a perfect spot." You know, a side flop. You know, he had the gut shut out.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm sitting there playing that hand, like I've said a few times, like I'm putting him on like tens, jacks, queens, something like that, because he came off as a tighter player. I didn't have much table time with him at the time, and I mean, he checked pretty quick on the flop. It just was just immediate
you went
weakness.
with showed a lot of weakness. Went with your gut, and it paid off. Yeah, you figured if you hit that ace, he was definitely betting that hand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like Billy's getting a walk with 8-7 of spades. We have a lot of middling stacks here, which will be tough for the bigger stacks to navigate through. A lot of the middling stacks with Johnny, Sister Kid, Mark, they can have a lot of good reshove spots if they catch the bigger stacks opening a little light here, which Randy and Zazimo tend to do with their aggression. So it should be an interesting final table. And it looks like the blinds are up now, 25, 50K, 50K, putting a little more pressure on the smaller stacks. Zazima looking at pretty large sizing here with the pocket threes and the +2.
Yeah, I like that. You either got a flat there or come in
pretty
about
aggressive.
his
Get some
size,
folds.
3.5, 4x.
Such a vulnerable hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really puts a lot of pressure on the smaller stacks. And he's pretty deep, so if someone shoves on him, it's an easy fold, I think. Oh, and he even gets Queen 10 to fold there. Nice hand for Zazimo. Guess he was pretty short. And on the screen here, you can see the payouts. Got 8th place with $2,500, all the way to first with $19,500. 2 main event seats. Paul Edwards, good day from Perth, Western Australia again. Hope everyone's well. Hey, nice of you to join us, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's crazy how many people we have join us on this stream. I've had people from Canada, Germany, Australia. It's all over the world. It's pretty awesome. And those of y'all in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we're located off of Harry Hines. We have this tournament every weekend, and it's a great tournament. 20K guarantee, $365 buy-in, and a lot of times our total prize pool comes up to about 75K, 80K, as you can see in this tournament. Randy here opening up under the gun with 7-6 spades. Bold move. Yeah, it's quite an aggressive line here for sure under the gun. Maybe opening it from under the gun, they're going to give her a lot of credit.
Yeah. Everyone has rags.
Yeah, she got a little lucky. And Carlos here, looking with the hand. It does go all in.
Yeah, she's got a call now.
But she does have to call. Wow, she snapped it off.
Yeah, I mean, with that size, she has to. She's not going to be happy with that.
Dream spot for Carlos there.
Hit me, baby.
Well, just like that,
She does hit middle pair, backdoor flush. 2 is no help.
I'm going down. That's him.
And 10 on the river gives Carlos the full double. Nice hand, Carlos. We've been seeing a lot of big pocket pairs waking up in the blinds, huh?
Dream spot from big blind.
Yeah, just when you get an under the gun open, you're like, oh, she has a big hand here. I'm gonna get paid. But it gets snapped off anyways by the 7 high. Nice hand, Carlos.
Get everybody to float around to me and wake up the game. What the hell?
Candy Reed. I'm 20 minutes away, and I want to move to Carroll to be closer to TCH. Ah, yeah. No, I live in the Louisville area, and I'm only about 20 minutes away. So I work here as well as a dealer, and it's just a great location. It's pretty central. Are you staying pretty close here?
Yeah, probably about 10 minutes away.
10 minutes away?
Yeah.
So what were your first impressions when you walked in here? Was it like more people than you thought, less people than you thought, or?
Yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised. Like, I thought the overall building was going to be larger, and then I walked in the dorm, almost tripped over the first table, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the place to be in Dallas if you like poker.
Yeah, it's a huge tournament field, so I mean, it's hard not to love the prize pool,
And I guess I got a question of my own. Would you consider yourself more of a tournament player or cash game player?
Cash game player.
Cash game player?
Yeah, when I play tournaments, it's all cash game style, which I mean can pay off, or you can go bust in the first 5 levels. I mean,
well, from what I understand, I guess the structure of the main event almost makes it advantageous for cash game players, right? Because the longer levels, pretty deep stack, and
yeah, you're gonna get a lot of passive players. A lot of guys just want to make it past day 1. As soon as they hit day 2, they just want to make it to day 3.
Right, yeah, you can take advantage of that and really chip up in the early days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because, 2-hour levels, that's the longest I think I've ever... I think the longest levels I've played is like hour-long levels. So, 2 hours is crazy. That's...
Yeah, there was, for the most part, it was pretty tight play. You'd have a few exceptions along the way. Like, I saw a few crazy plays, and... like even day 2, day 3, you just see some wild plays.
You never get surprised. Or there's always a surprise, even when you're in deep in the main event. Right. All right, Mark here in the cutoff, pocket 3s, liking to go all in here. Has about 8, 9 big blinds. King 10 off in the big blind here. From a cutoff shove. For less than.
There's a lot of hands that have that hand dominated though, so
that's true.
About to put it in there.
Yeah, you're really hoping for a flip at best. Which, yeah, a lot of those king queen, king jack suited, ace king, ace queen. As you dominate, it's in the. Zima does like to fold.
I think it was the end of day 2. We probably had about 10 minutes left, and I had 6-8 of spades, and I flopped the joint with a spade redraw. And I'm talking about hold'em, not PLO, obviously, because that sounds like a dream hand, right?
Yeah.
And the turn, so it came 4, 5, 7, 2 spades. I have 6-8 of spades, and the guy see better than me. I flatted. The turn was a 6 of hearts, and he just checked, raised me all in. And I snapped, and he just had ace queen off, drawing almost stone cold dead.
Yeah.
And he had about 40 bigs.
Jeez.
And 8 of diamonds came peeling on the river.
Oh,
but the whole table just looked at him in shock because they couldn't believe what was going on. He was like, I just wanted to go home.
So that was nothing worse than getting the joint and then getting there by chop outs, right?
Yeah, and the guy says he wants to go home at 10 minutes left in day 2. He doesn't want to bag like 40, 45 bigs.
And he was being serious too. And you're like, okay, I'll take your chips.
He had a jacket in his hand. Yep.
I'll put these chips to good use. Man. Randy here flopping the best of it. Can't imagine she'll let this check through with the spades out there. And any kind of bet here should take it down. Yeah, that's just a rough spot, but what can you do? You played your hand, and
yeah, absolutely.
The cards will run out how they run out.
Peace out, Lexi. She told me to give her a piece thing. So I forgot because I got in her hand, but now here it is.
Did you watch any of the main event footage, or?
I think we had it here out on the TVs every now and then. like when I was dealing and playing a little bit, but I didn't really follow too much. I mean, I did see your highlights a lot. I think I saw another hand where it was like quads against quads, pretty close to the money bubble. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a sick hand. And they were both like pretty deep.
Was
like,
it 4s and 6s that hand?
something
or-
like that. Yeah, like they both flopped a set, one turn quads, another river quads.
Yeah, day one, you would just hear the craziest stories. I want to say I might have heard quad aces versus quad kings.
Jeez Louise.
But I mean, there's just so many players in the field at that time, so you're
Yeah,
seeing
it's just
some really obscure
with that
hands.
many hands, it's something like that's bound to happen.
Yeah, and that
right?
early, and everyone's, obviously super deep. It's day one. Just that's how it's going to go. You're going to get some
Yeah.
sick knockouts.
Yeah. Sister Kid electing for the aggressive route again, which I like. Johnny can be limping a lot of weak holdings here, and does decide to defend here with the 7-4 off, with a dominated 7. Johnny does flop a gut shot here. Does fold it out. Nice hand, Cicero. I mean, sometimes just that aggressive play really works out in your
off, yeah.
favor. David Brunner, who's in the booth? You got Derek and Nick Rigby, main event sensation. Player of the 3 deuce, or also known as the dirty diaper. All you have to do is look up on Google or on YouTube, right? 2021 main event dirty diaper, and I'm sure something will pop up, right?
Yep. Or just search greatest WSOP bluff ever.
Oh,
That'll grab it.
Yeah, that was quite the bluff, for sure.
Randy waking up with ace king. Not sure what he has, but I feel like we might see some action here.
He's been pretty quick with his actions. So if he's thinking about something, he must have something here. Looks like we got about 400 of them in the chat so far. Thank you all for joining us.
He will 3-bet. No, he called.
Oh, he just-
okay.
Wait.
Yeah, he just fought it.
Oh, yeah.
Joe, would you like your table 1? Ryan and D, you want your table 1?
So this is a matchup we would wait and see right
Yeah,
here.
the 2 big stacks, right? Yeah, the 2 aggressive players. Yeah, I'm really curious what Zozimo has here.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a C-bet here from Randy for sure.
Skip S and Brooks for 1-2.
Can't imagine her waving the white flag just yet here, based on what we've seen. And she does elect for the
275.
275.
You still want your FE 2219 for 1-2.
She could have elected for a little smaller sizes so she could bet her entire range. But maybe she's just trying to get a fold out of Zozimo here. And I could see Zozimo raising if he caught any of this board, which looks like he might be considering. If he does fold, then we'll never know what he had. Nice hand, Randy. Ah, man, it's the worst when you don't see the card, when the card readers don't pick it up, because the whole reason why we're in here is so we can analyze the hands.
Absolutely.
It's hard to analyze when we don't know the hands.
Is there cameras on the table as well? I can't see or no.
No, so our cards are RFID cards. So there's little scanners in front of each seat that
But there's no cameras though as well.
No, yeah, it just scans the cards, and then that information goes to Tyler and Cooper, and then they work on the graphics.
Yeah, out at the World Series they had cameras, but they never put any of the footage on, so I think it might be more of like a backup. But it was interesting. I forget the guy's name now, but he came down. He he came over to our table and he was close to chip leader. And he sat right to my right, and I was on my button. It was almost immediately after he sat down, he opened in the cutoff, and I just pulled my cards onto the scanner, and like I just told myself, I was like, well, we're gonna end this shortly. Like he's not gonna be stealing the button off me. So I was waiting for them to talk about how like I never even looked at my hand, and I made a pretty sizable 3-bet, and it came around to the big blind. He made a 4-bet, and came back around. He folded. So obviously I opted to look at my hand.
Yeah,
at
you're
that
like,
point.
well, now I have to look. Yeah, I was just trying to steal it.
I had 6 deuce off. I did do like a little bit of Hollywood before I threw the muck. But it was pretty funny. That's the hand actually that like Ben Lamb tweeted out and said, if anyone knows this guy, like I got his drinks covered for life. And it's just me sitting there. It just says 3-bet 6 deuce off, and I'm just like pondering like I'm gonna call off. Oh, speak of 6 deuce.
Pretty good flop for fours. Gets a gut shot.
But
no face cards. A nice hand for Carlos. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
oh yeah, it was definitely super comical just seeing that. I think he took a picture like his TV. He was sitting there watching it. Just me, just 3-betting 6 deuce off.
And I'm assuming no one even knew you didn't look at your hand yet.
No, I was kind of waiting for the commentators, to make us think about it. Like, wow, he never even looked at his hand, but they didn't pick up on it. Because I've seen that done a few times. Like I think day 3. They were actually interviewing someone while he was playing, and he was like standing up from the table. He never looked at his hand, but it was like well known. Everyone at the table knew it. So obviously when I did,
and he was just 3-betting everyone.
Yeah.
Jeez. So like you said, man, not even relatively deep into the main event, you just see some wild play.
Yeah, I mean, if they would have picked up on that, they would lose their mind. Why is he not looking at his cards this deep in the main event?
And Randy just getting hit with the deck here. King, Queen of Hearts, good enough for an open. I'm looking for the 4X open this time.
I could see him possibly calling here in position.
Both pretty deep. I guess the only thing you have to be worried about is someone reshoving behind you. If you do call, and then you just wasted 200K. And I think he is thinking about that. A lot of medium-sized stacks behind.
I'm sure it is getting on his nerve, though.
That Randy constantly raising.
Yeah, if he's a little bit more aggressive and he likes to play wide range of hands, having her right to his right.
Yeah, he probably wishes he was in the blinds or even the button.
Yeah, he would like to be opening there with ace-4, not having to shake his head and throw it in.
I could see him throwing the 3-bet there if he was a little deeper, but being only 1 million deep makes it a little tougher.
Attention players, we do have open intermediate seating for 2-5 no limit if anybody is interested.
Haliaz, thanks, man. Yeah, smash that like button, chat pros. Appreciate it. Those of y'all in the chat, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, give us a like if you're enjoying the content. And if y'all are unaware, actually Nick Rigby will be playing the 510 No Limit stream tomorrow. So make sure y'all tune in for that. And I think that'll be around 6 p.m.
Yep. Everyone hop on. I'll promise I'll put on a show for you.
Yeah. Oh, actually, now that I have you here in the booth, you got to convince everyone to do a 3-deuce bounty.
Yeah. Someone mentioned that to me earlier. Like,
there
I'm
has to be
honestly
something with that. Yeah. I mean, we got you here. Mr. Dirty Diaper himself, we got to get you to play the 3-deuce bounty.
Absolutely.
Like what, $25? Like something, you know?
Something, yeah. You gotta make it something.
That'd be awesome. I mean, because we've done the 7-deuce bounty on stream before, but I think, special occasion, I think we got to make this 3-deuce this time.
Yeah, like $25 clean diaper bounty, $100 dirty diaper bounty.
Wait, what? Is clean diaper the suited version?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like it. So dirty diaper is the 3-deuce offsuit. The clean diaper is the 3-deuce suited. I like it. Mark and Billy here starting to get a little short here. Got to make some moves, so they were wanting to chip up. I guess there's different schools of thought when you're that short, right? Are you looking to try to have other people bust out for you, or are you just being aggressive and trying to chip up?
I mean, with how top heavy this tournament is,
you go for the aggressive.
I'm trying
route,
to
right?
shoot it in.
Yeah, you go for that first prize money. Absolutely. You're really not getting that much more of a pay jump, I guess. Looks like.
Yeah, and I mean, you really don't want to come into fumes with 6 people left. I mean, it's. Yeah, I mean, during this series, too, I had a lot of people, hey, there's a pay jump, just so you know, coming up. I'm like, I'm not even looking at any of it. Because, I mean, all it does is it kind of affects your play.
Deshaun Carr just watched the 3-deuce hand, and that was bad A. Nice. Nice. Yeah. That's who I've got in the booth right now, Mr. Dirty Diaper himself.
Ruiz is in TK 55.
Sister K waking with the ace-queen off in the +2, raising the 140K. A lot smaller of a sizing than we've seen from everyone else, but still gets it through. And I think that's probably something important to note, too. A lot of the times, you know, people elect for the larger sizing, just trying to get folds, whatnot. But, I mean, as we saw there, he used a smaller sizing and was still able to get the same result out of his hand.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on structure and everything.
And who's in the blinds.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if you have Brandon Zamino in the blinds, you 1.5x it. I mean, you're getting called with any 2 cards.
Mm-hmm. But sometimes you want that if you have a premium hand, right?
Yep.
140, bet 140,000.
Yeah, right when the blinds kind of started to accelerate earlier today when I was in this tournament, I was doing a lot of 3.5, 4x opens. And
I'm sure you noticed that wasn't uncommon among other players, too.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And but at that stage in the tournament, I mean, it left me really vulnerable because I was getting, you know, shoved into with 12, 13, you know, big blind stacks. And I'm calling off with 9, 10 suited. And, I mean, you get in some weird spots where, like, you almost have to.
Mark here waking with big slick suited and getting Cicero to fold his deuces.
This game is good. Got a pair on beat. I'm already behind. 300,000.
Folds the deuces there. Only flipping with other hands. Tough to call off with deuces. I mean, yeah, you're really only hoping for a flip, and then you got so many outs to fade.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Actually, kind of intertwining what we were just talking about in that hand, deuces versus ace king. On day 4, I knocked someone out. I had deuces.
Yeah,
and,
deuces.
yeah, I was in the cutoff, and I mean, it was all sizing. I opened with those, and he shoved out of the big blind, and you know, obviously I could be dominated in that spot. He ended up having ace king, and my deuces held. But
yeah, but yeah, obviously, you know, you opening that. Opening from that late and getting shoved on that late, I mean, they could have a wide range as well.
yeah, absolutely.
Randy here, man, waking up with all the hands.
Yeah, the deck's hitting her in the head.
And it looks like my dad's in the chat, Simon Ng. Good evening there. Okay, nice of you to join us. Appreciate it. Show some love for my dad, guys.
But yeah, eventually when I ended up getting knocked out, actually, in the tournament, I had king, queen of hearts on the button. And I opened 3x on it folded around. I opened 3x on the button, and I got shoved into for at the time was I started the hand with about 14 bigs, so I'd have been left with like 10 bigs, and I knew the range that was coming over the top. Like I had been waiting for that. Like it's pretty light. Not a feeling you want to have when you're sitting there and knowing you can face elimination, which actually that was the only second time in the whole tournament that I could have been sent home, which is also kind of interesting, I guess.
So yeah, that was the second time, and then your final time was when you were eliminated, or
no? That was the hand I was eliminated. I had king, queen of hearts.
Oh, I see. Okay.
He shoved out of the big blind with ace deuce off. Like I tanked a little bit. And it's kind of sick when you're sitting there playing
and
with the
you
main.
just end up losing. You just miss all
I
your
know
outs.
he's shoving light. I mean, that's kind of the hand I want to see. You know, I guess that's not the hand I want to see exactly, but
yeah, but it's really pretty close in equity there. Oh man, Johnny here waking up with a hand here in the small blind.
Yeah, I couldn't find a king or queen. Which the rail had grown pretty big at that time. I had about 15 buddies. They would have erupted if I hit a king or queen.
Queen on the river.
Take my blind, please.
And he'll take it down.
Take my blind, please.
Yeah, previous to that, at the start of day 3, I had lost some chips at the end of day 2, and or no, I'm sorry, at the start of day 4, I believe it was. I had lost some chips at the end of day 3, and still in great shape, but I was just like a little upset for kind of how I ran at the end of day 3. And second hand of the day, my tournament life was at risk.
Oh no.
Very similar situation where I was kind of just like standing up to what I thought was going to happen. The chip leader at the time of the tournament was sitting in the cutoff when I was big blind, and it was, like I said, it was the second hand. I was big blind. He opened, and I vouched a 3-bet, and I ended up flopping top 2. Came like king, queen, deuce, and I c-bet right into him. He flatted. The turn was a 10, and I just open ripped. He ended up having king jack and called, so like I doubled up. Like immediately started in 4. That was huge.
Oh, so yeah, he had top pair with a straight draw.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, that was the first time up until actually, when I eventually got eliminated that my chips were actually at risk.
Larry C. It is a brand new 1-2 on table number 9.
Randy opening in the hijack, queen jack. And we haven't seen too much from Justin yet. Does decide to fold the 9-10.
There's not too many big blinds that are defending their middle range hands right now. Which obviously, because it's kind of shove or fold at this point.
Yeah,
For
they're all pretty shallow, and you don't exactly want to play against the big stack. Taco's 18.7. How do you become a TCH member? Well, if you come to any of our locations, we got locations in Austin, Houston, Dallas, and the Rio Grande Valley. I'm sure they can help you out the front, but all you need is a driver's license. All our clubs are 18 and older. Just need a driver's license and pay your monthly fees, and that's how you become a member. Pretty easy. Johnny gonna shove the ace-8 off in the cutoff here.
Okay. Just keep them coming. Hold it. There's a body in my
Probably
bag.
throw that away with no chips invested right here. But
With pocket fours.
yeah, I mean, you're racing at best.
Should be a very optimistic call, I think, if you call with the fours. Especially with 2 people behind. Oh no, an ace-jack in the small blind.
Yeah, I don't
This
think
could be a spot for a reshow.
Justin's played a hand yet either.
Yeah, this is a premium in his eyes, I imagine. He hasn't seen much. Facing a cutoff open, yeah, and he does decide to reshove here. Billy here, which is nothing here. Probably just gonna fold. Taco's 18.7. Thanks. No problem, man. Hope you can make to one of our locations. I mean, it's great action at all locations, especially TCH Dallas. And Johnny at risk here. Does hit the 8. Wow.
That's a sick flop.
What a sick
Does
flop.
he have ace cards or jack cards?
I can't remember, but I don't.
he
They
did.
definitely weren't suited. Oh, he
Yeah,
did
he
have the
did,
jack
yeah.
of hearts. Wow. And Johnny doubles through Justin.
05.
Wow. That's
Quite a
rough.
break there for Johnny. I mean, Justin hasn't played a hand all night yet. And must be hating that spot. But you know, that's you have to win those, right?
Yeah.
Johnny catching quite the break, doubling up to 910K. Now 4th in chips. Nice hand, Johnny. So did you end up making it out here with a friend, or you just come here by yourself?
No, I'm out there with a buddy. He's I think he's playing 1-2 right now.
Very cool. It's a nice relaxing one too, yeah.
We were relaxing, yeah. We were over there ripping shots and had the whole table shaking their heads.
I'm sure they're happy to have you all at the table.
Yeah. Yeah, opening bet was 12.5 to 15x every hand.
Honestly, that's not far from what normally happens, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have some action 1-2 for sure here. Let's get back to the action here. Carlos with the pocket 7s and under gun. So Zemo with a premium here. Ace, queen of spades.
Can't see him doing much more than just jamming
I think
here.
he might just have to rip it in here,
Yep.
yeah. You don't really want to invite too many other players behind. So there goes one of Zozima's outs. And Carlos's.
Carlos can fold here.
This is a big shove. You know, but it's always much easier to go all in than to call off an all in, right? So you're really putting Carlos here in the spot. But you have to imagine he knows that Zozima's gonna be, shoving his ace kings, his ace queens. But he has to be worried about those higher pocket pairs. Shoving that close in early position really is an aggressive play, and it does pay off. Nice hand, Zozimo. Fully realizing his equity there and getting the best hand to fold. Yeah, you really want to, when you put the element on your opponent, to make the decision, it really makes it tough for them to call off the turn of life with pocket sevens there.
Yeah, I don't know if I like to open under the gun with that hand. I definitely would rather vouch for a limp.
When you're this short, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, disguising that, it looks like a much stronger hand, I think, if you limp.
And that way, if Zozima does elect to re-raise your limp, you still get a good price to call
you're not
off.
playing for the stack of that way.
Yeah, a lot of the times people, they'll mention, if you're in a raise with hands like that, have a plan, if you do get shoved on, what are you going to decide to do? And
yeah, absolutely.
I think in his mind, if he got shoved on, then he just, he quickly folded there.
I forgot to put them down. I didn't scan them. You want me to scan them?
Hez here, one of our chat pros, chat pro regulars, he's saying that 1-2 here is not relaxing. Not shocked at all, he says, by the sizings. Carlos getting the walk with a 7 deuce.
Randy opting to take a walk when our big blind's coming up here. That's when you know you have 40% of the chips in play.
Yeah, yeah, it's something like that, right? Like 30 or 40%.
Yep.
Looks like what blinds are at 30, 60, 60.
Yeah, I mean, Carlos has to be loving this spot if she doesn't make it back.
Oh, there she is. Oh no,
nope.
That's our tournament director, Travis. Carlos is like, faster, faster.
Yep.
And she got back just in time to see her cards. Yeah, our rule here is
last card on the button.
Yeah, last card on the button. If you're not within an arm's reach of your seat, hands declared dead. But she gets back just in time.
Yeah, bad news for Carlos. Mystery hand.
Looks like he's considering a shove here. Based on the stack size, yeah, he doesn't really have any option but shove or fold there. Oh, dirty diaper.
Oh,
dirty diaper got folded. I wonder if they even.
A lot of guys played that against me earlier.
Oh, really?
Yep.
In the tournament?
Yeah, then they'd show
man.
it. I don't think it won against me once.
Oh, yeah. Are you familiar with oh, no, never mind. Oh, wow, we got a good number in the chat here, 476. Thank you all for joining us.
Yeah, we definitely climbed up from 110.
Yeah, yeah. If you're just now joining us here, we got, looks like the final, still 8 players left? Yeah, final 8 players left of our final table.
8 players, Derek and the main event sensation.
Yeah, Derek and the main event sensation, Nick Rigby. Justin here, going to go all in. And the +2 with the ace-10. Carlos folded the 7s last time. He's not folding it this time. Does decide to reshove, getting king-jack to fold. Another mystery hand folded by Zozimo, and we have a flip.
I just voted king jack.
Justin at risk here.
I'm actually kind of surprised Randy didn't gamble there. She said she had king jack. There's the king.
Oh, man. Based on what their stack sizes both were.
Yeah, stack sizes. I mean, you can knock 2 players out.
And the 7s do hold, eliminating Justin in 8th place.
Yeah, I think the big stack was what, 12 bigs there, maybe 13.
Yeah, I think the most she had to commit was 750K. Yeah, that definitely would have been a gamble, but I mean, to eliminate 2 players, that might be worth it sometimes, and to have an overwhelming chip lead. But she elected to fold, and Carlos gets the chips. Nice hand, Carlos.
King jack is bad.
Now down to our final 7 players with Justin eliminated in 8th place for $2,558. We got 7th paying out $3,000, and 1st paying that very nice payout of $19,500. Man, that's.
Did any of those hit?
I mean, it's a long day at poker, but I mean, just for a single day tournament,
it's a nice payday for $365.
Yeah, it's a very nice payout. We say we have some of the best tournaments in the state, if not in the country, you know, for a daily tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Me and my buddy were talking. We said, you know, if we had this back home, we're here every
You just play it
Saturday.
every weekend, right? Yeah. Which a lot of these players do. I mean, I recognize Randy. I recognize Zozimo. Carlos, since he won, he plays a lot as well. Justin, who was just eliminated, he plays a lot of tournaments. So we have a lot of regulars. And Carlos waking up another good hand here. Randy with the ace-5 suit on the button. Does like to come along. Could be disastrous for Randy here if an ace comes on the flop.
I'm going to take her in this hand, in position. Yep, I was right.
And Randy outflops the ace-queen with bottom pair backdoor flush draw. I'm sure she's not loving that king that much at the moment. It'd just be such a sick shove if she just went all in here.
Yeah, he leads out for about a quarter of a stack.
Wow.
He's
This
going to
could
be
be a big one. I mean, he's setting up the turn shove, right?
Yep.
Jack on the turn. Great card for him to continue barreling here. I mean, he does pick up an additional outs.
Wow. I mean,
and does get the fold. Nice play there by Carlos. You know, that aggressive line. I guess I do wonder what he thought Randy had there.
You're getting a lot of 8s, 9s, 10s to fold there. I mean, wide variety.
I guess in his mind, if she did have some kind of king X holding, she probably would have 3-bet him pre. Appreciate all the love in the chat, guys. Yeah, thanks, Michael. Yeah, we should definitely be at 100 likes by now. If you haven't liked the stream already, go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that sub if you haven't. Delano Jackson, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it. We haven't heard too much from Mark either. Let's see if he decides to do something here with the queen 10 off. Pretty marginal holding here in the early position, especially with all the big stacks to your left. But this is like to open it up here. He is tired of folding. And I imagine that happened a lot in the main event. We have 2-hour levels, and it just sometimes you just get tired of folding, right? And just want to get in there. You know, you can't win any chips if you don't commit any chips. I'm sure Zozino is picking up that Mark hasn't really been playing too many hands. Let's decide to call.
Yeah, I would say in the main, I mean, position's the biggest thing. Like I probably played some of the most obscure, unorthodox hands, but I tried to play it in position most of the time.
And an ace-high flop gives Ozima the lead with middle pair. And the second ace here on the turn. Will make it tougher for Mark to get this through. Ozima does call as we expected. Needs a king or a queen here.
He's kind of just bet away a stack here.
And Ozima will take it down with his king jack. Nice hand for Ozima.
He's left with 4 bigs now. And 2 of them will be going in here in the, no, he's under the gun.
Yeah, he really, I guess that is the, that's the problem you run into when you decide to open a hand like Queen 10 in early position. You're going to get a lot of flops that, you know, that you're going to miss and that hits your opponents. Imagine Mark is definitely feeling the heat now.
Yeah, I'd
Less
say
than 4 bigs.
He's making his last stand, I think.
And he
King
just
3.
goes ahead and shoves it in there with the king 3.
I mean, with the big blind ante, he's going to be feeling what the third of his stack is in play now. I see him opting to just throw it in there.
Trying to pull in the 9-8 suited.
Oh,
Oh, and
diaper
the dirty
time.
diaper. Showing the 3 deuce. But Mark with the dominating 3. That's
Yeah.
hand Mark.
Yeah, I had thought he had king 3, which I think king 3 in the big blind there you would have to defend with inside stack.
No, I think he was under the gun.
No, big blind there. I thought he had king 3. He had the diaper though.
Oh, like if
Yeah, king 3 was. I think Carlos had king 3 there.
yeah. Black Cat Poker. Does TCH have any TCH gears or just chip protectors? We have sweatshirts, hats, and t-shirts, but no card protectors. You know. Doesn't sound like a good idea though. Except those would be pretty popular. Seems like the action has slowed down a little bit. So people are getting a little card dead here. Zeno here, opening in the hijack, Queen 9 of Hearts.
I imagine that those chips are going in here.
Yeah, King 9 suited here. What do you
So
have, less than 4 big blinds left in the stack?
Eventually, he's going to have to play a hand if he wants to win this.
Obviously, we can see the cards in play here, but I tend to agree with you, Nick. Yeah,
I don't think there's much to mull over with
Yeah.
king 9 suited.
You're this
Apparently,
short,
there is.
but he does decide to fold it.
I don't know what the angle is there. If he's just trying to have it, you know, make a pay jump here, the 5th or 4th, but or 6th or 5th, I guess. But yeah.
Guess he's waiting for a better hand. Black
Cat Poker. Hopefully I'll be down next week. Is there a 250K tournament?
Yeah, actually, I was about to mention that. There is a 250K guarantee tournament, not here in the Dallas TCH, but in the Houston location.
Okay.
It's we partnered up with Poker Atlas, who runs our our seat selection and our waiting list and whatnot. They have a payday tournament down in Houston. I think it's a $600 250K guaranteed. Starting
600?
Sorry?
How much you said?
$600.
Okay, cool.
And that's I believe the 16th or the 19th. So those of y'all that are in the Houston area, I'd check that tournament out. Should be a good one.
It's actually just in Houston a few weeks back.
Oh, really?
Right before I went out to Vegas, yep.
Yeah, and I believe the special thing about that tournament is if for every bag that you get $800. So you're guaranteed money when you bag on day one, and then for every additional bag, you get another $2,000. So like it kind of encourages you to fire another bullet. You know, if you get if you feel like your chip stack's not up to par with everyone else.
23 minutes and 37 minutes. I know they're using these cards.
Well, good luck, Black Cat. Hope you do well in that tournament. So Zuma here really opening it up here in the +1 with ace-9 off. Gets Johnny to fold a dominating ace.
You a Rangers fan, Astros?
More of a Rangers fan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? Follow baseball much?
Yeah, kind of just all baseball. I live in Pittsburgh, so it's hard to root for the Pirates when they just don't care to win. Or ownership doesn't care.
Yeah, I mean, our Rangers this past year weren't that great either. I think we had the second worst record.
we were probably right behind.
Oh man, yes. But second worst record. Yeah, getting confirmation from the booth. Yeah, it was. I mean, I went to one game with some friends. I just went there. I like going to the games just to enjoy like the sights, the smells, the food.
I had good sights on the when I went to the Astros Braves game. I had a Bella Danger sitting right behind me.
Oh, what?
If you know who that is, a Bella Danger.
Oh.
Sitting right behind me. Which, like I said, I'm not a fan of either of those teams, but my buddy asked me about like 6 hours before a flight left there for the game, hey, do you want to go to the World Series? He didn't have to twist my arm too much. I ended up going. And at the time, I had a few weeks booked out in Vegas, and I wasn't planning on going out to Vegas either. I said, I think I'm going to cancel. I'm not going to go out. And he said, oh, let's just go to Houston. Then she ended up sitting behind us, and we kind of just partied the whole game, and we ended up catching a red eye to Vegas. I said, well, I have these rooms booked, and I had a bunch of friends out there from Pittsburgh, and they're like, you're out here, you might as well play the main.
So that's how you ended up in the main event. When you just
originally when I booked the rooms out there, I was going to play like a few smaller tournaments, like a $1,500 PLO, like the mini main for a dime. I was going to play that.
Maybe the little 1-for-1 drop. I know that's a
that was another one. I was like, I'll be out there for that. And everyone's like, oh, you got to play the main. You're out there. So my one buddy brought it up and said, hey, we should put you in. And like some other people jumped on and invested just to stake me in it. So
Mark here shoving with the king jack off on the button. Randy with the 7-4 off. Can't imagine. Though I think she is actually getting a price here.
Yeah, she's
as insane as it might sound.
She's going to call this.
I think she understands, the dynamics of final table poker. She must be thinking, I've got some live cards here. I've got 35%.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised she's taking this long because I think she is going to find a call.
To eliminate a player and get a pay jump, it's a lot more value than just the chips itself.
Especially when you're the chip leader.
And she does like the call.
Yep.
I imagine Mark will be surprised to see her hand, though we're not as surprised in the booth as we can see the percentages.
You're way ahead.
I don't know if he's
not as far ahead as you think, Randy. Not as far ahead as you think.
Then the 8-high flop comes. I call that. There it is.
Oh,
that's not good though.
Not a good card. And a queen on the river gives Mark the double up with king high. Though it might seem like an insane call, but as we can see by the percentage, she was getting the right price to call. And a lot of poker is, making sure you get the right price. And sometimes it's not about making the call that feels right, but that is mathematically right?
Yeah.
you want high kilo? Table one.
So Sarah and Billy definitely hate to see that. They fall into 6th and 7th.
It's all over. 2 to 1 pot.
I didn't have much. Almost a line.
That's right, fellas.
Don't try it.
Don't try again.
Let me try again.
PA, neck tight. MDR,
So far, a pretty action-packed final table as we expected with the action players and Randy and Zozimo. Looks like it's really tough luck for Billy and Mark here, getting not really much anything for them. A lot of the chips are just centered towards the 1 to 3 seats. So.
Yep.
This is what we've been waiting for, some small blind versus big blind action between Zozimo and Randy. As Zozimo wakes up with a premium here in the big blind with pocket 8s, the snowmen. Making a massive raise over Randy's limp. Telling him to get out of my pot.
And over.
She opted to fold to 10-5.
Another look at our pay jumps here as they're getting quite large as we get towards the middling stack or middling payouts. Obviously, we don't know how many buy-ins these players did for this tournament, but let's just assume 1 buy-in, and that's a pretty good payday for a lot of these players.
Yeah, absolutely. What is the record for re-entries here? I imagine someone had to have ventured up near 8, 9, 10.
I don't know the number for this tournament, but I have heard, it is rumored, at least for our $1 million tournament, there was one player who I believe had like 20 buy-ins or something like that for the $900. Okay. And it looks like we're getting some information from the booth. He thinks it's 8 is the max buy-in for this tournament. So, a lot of people out there aren't shy.
No,
they are not shy.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking to myself I'd probably go up to 4 bullets today.
Yeah, especially for a prize pool this big. If you think you can make the final table for 4 bullets, and it's still worth it to make top five places or so. Hold on here, what is going on? Sister Kid here, shoving the 9-8 of hearts on a king high board.
The booth is now telling us there's 32 entries in $1 million.
Oh my gosh! I thought it was 20. Wow. It looks like the King 7 did call off here. Pretty much drawing dead here on the turn, and Johnny will looks like double up essentially with all that dead money in there.
Oh yeah.
Eliminating Sister Kid in 7th place for $3,003. Congratulations to him. Imagine he was just trying to make a play at the pot there. Didn't feel like anyone had a king, but just ran into it.
So is that a nickname?
I'm not sure. I mean, so when they go to the final table, they can tell them whatever name they want.
Oh, okay.
So, say like if you made it, I'm sure you could have done like Dirty Diaper or something, or whatever you want, or Rigby. Or,
Yeah, you're not. No,
down to our final 6 players.
Well, the fold method has worked for Billy. He's now got a small pay jump, and he's almost all in the blind side.
I mean that's a dream spot for him, right? Yeah, he laddered up and didn't have to do anything there.
Yeah.
Bart Bogart in the chat. It was actually 32 rebuys in a 900, and I'm not trolling. Bart Bogart, one of our tournament regulars here at TCH. Yeah, we got that confirmation from Tyler as well, Bart. Yeah, that's insane. What, 32 times 9? It's almost 28K.
Yeah, just investing 30 dimes, yeah.
That's oh yeah, 30K, yeah.
Yeah, 3 stacks of high society just right in the tournament.
We'll see for 1-2.
Brandy here, playing her big stack in the cutoff, free betting 400K. Imagine Carlos is gonna fold this here. He is getting a price.
Yeah,
he is getting a price.
Of course, we know he's getting a great price. He doesn't know that, but yeah, so they will create that side pot, which should be interesting here.
Billy at risk here with the Jack Deuce of Hearts. Let's see what the flop brings. And he does hit a deuce, though, giving Carlos top pair and a diamond draw.
Absolute monster. And he's
going to
not
go ahead and
messing around
ship it
with
in here. Yeah, not even,
I get to see what you're raising.
does not want Randy to catch up with any overcards. And she does fold her ace. Billy in a miserable spot here with bottom pair.
I do like that just shove, too, because she came over the top, made it 400 pre.
Oh, and he catches another deuce on the turn, giving him trips, but oh man, diamonds hit there on the river. The suck and the resuck, eliminating Billy in 6th place. Congratulations to him. I mean, I almost thought he got there on the turn, but you know, Carlos gets there on the river with the diamond draw. Congratulations to Billy in 6th place for $3,530. As we can see on the chip stacks here, Carlos is actually taking the chip lead after that elimination. We got 3 players around 2 million chips. Johnny with 1.5 million, and Mark as our small stack with 530K. The one double up for Mark does put him right back in it. I imagine Randy feeling a little bit of the heat now she's lost the chip lead. Does decide to continue her aggression, raising King 7 off in the hijack. As we go to 6-handed play, I imagine we'll see a lot of these players open up the range quite a bit. Maybe 3-bet a little bit more, a little wider. Try to take down these pots pre. As you can see, the aggression from Randy does pay off. She takes down the chips.
Yeah, I imagine we're going to see her and Zanimo pushy issue here for sure.
Their seat assignment now really playing a big factor now that both of them have position on Carlos, who is the chip leader. Vincent Constantine, Carlos would have been knocked out if Randy called with the King Jack. Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier. If she wanted the gamble, that was her chance to do it for sure. But obviously you cannot be results oriented. I imagine Randy thought her King Jack was just dominated in a lot of the scenarios there.
I would like just a shove here out of Carlos. And he does.
And he does agree with you, shoving his ace deuce. You know, the power of the ace, right? I believe we saw a main event champion win with ace deuce, right? Was it, I think, Blumfield or something?
I believe so, yeah.
And as you can see here, we got a shot of the room here. Always packed on a Saturday night. We got some cash games going. You can see some of our dealers walking around. Yeah. It's always like this on a Saturday night, which is insane, you know.
Yeah, I think when we walked in, there was 48 people on the list for 1-2.
Yeah, that's not uncommon on a Saturday night. Yeah, we got 1-2, 2-5, PLO, Congress, or I mean, PLO high-low, and I think we have a 5-10 game going out there, which is...
Yeah, why is that called Congress? That's pretty popular
Yeah,
down
yeah,
here, right?
it's... I know it's like a Dallas thing to call it that, but I believe it's just, a lot of people just call it 5-card high-low. But yeah, it's just 5-card high-low. For some reason, the Dallas area and Oklahoma, a lot of the players call it the Congress. Which I know in some places in the country it's called Big O, right?
Yeah.
Big O is just 5-card high-low.
Yep. Yeah, that's what it is, but I know a lot of guys too, they'll play like 5-card and they just call it like 5-card high, Big O, so.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Oh, my dad's saying hi in the chat again. What's up, Dad? How are you? Mark shoving in the cutoff with ace-3 off. It's going to be tough for a lot of these players to wake up with any hand to be able to call with. So I like that play. And as you can see on the pay jumps, they're getting quite serious now for 4,500 for fifth, all the way to 19,000. So it's getting to the, we're getting to the meat grinder part of the tournament, the final table. Really looks like the pull of gravity really.
The left side of the table.
Yeah, the left side of the table, right? Mark, the only remaining player on the right side of the table from our perspective.
Randy wakes up with a monster on the button.
Wow. It's 6-handed. Or 5-handed. It's just, might as well be aces.
I mean, I could see a call coming here. I mean, she's on the button. They're 6-handed. You wake up with King 9. I mean, not a big
King
hand.
9, not the worst hand that we've had in small blind, but this is like to fold it. Oh man.
Pull your other back. Pull your other back.
Johnny here doesn't like to defend his wheel ace.
And then the ace here is not going to lead to a happy ending for him.
Flop if an ace comes here. And a queen high flop helps no one, though Randy does still have the lead. Decides to check back on the flop. And deuce on the turn, giving Johnny the lead. Wow.
Very interesting check back on the flop.
Yeah, any kind of bet definitely would have.
Especially when she has them 2-to-1 chips.
Wow. Okay. Let's see if Johnny, very interesting line here by Randy, to check back the flop, then shove to a lead by Johnny.
On a deuce. I mean, he's got a fold thinking she flopped a set, right? I mean, what other hand makes sense here other than just,
wow. And the aggressive play from Randy. Wow, what a play by Randy. Getting the best hand of the fold, nearly drawing dead by Randy.
So she's never folding that hand.
Wow. Yeah, she decided to play it like that. Yeah. Nice play by her. I like it. She had 5% going to the river on the turn and got all 5% of it.
Yeah. I mean, she's up against a lot of queens there a lot of times.
Yeah, when you have a lead there on the turn.
Yeah, out of position, he flats pre. I mean, he's checking top pair a lot to her right there.
Very interesting line, but does pay off for her. Randy just getting hit with the deck tonight. In the cutoff with ace-queen off.
Yeah, like I said, when she's had at my table, I mean, she skyrocketed over $1 million. I think it was level 13 or something like that.
Jeez. Yeah, and then when our tournament director Travis, I was out there playing some cash before the live stream, and he wanted to make it a point that Randy had been leading the tournament pretty much the whole day. You know, she had 570K on the first level, our first break, which is absolutely insane. That's only 2 hours into the tournament.
Dude, you got 20x almost.
Yeah.
I'm like, proof. I promise.
Which, I mean, it'd be insane to have 100 to 150K in the first break, and she had 500K. Just knocking players out left and right, I imagine.
That's one thing I will not do is I will not steal, cheat, lie. That's not me.
We got a lot of Randy fans in the chat here. A lot of support for Randy.
200.
The buy-in was 365, Cole.
Yeah, $365 for the buy-in and unlimited re-entries, which really juices up the prize pool. Randy here again waking up with some hands. So Carlos here waking up with a reasonable hand to 3-bet or defend in the big blind. With how deep they are, I'd like to see a 3-bet here. But does it like on the flat call, out of position? I think when you play this hand out of position, it works a lot better as a 3-bet. Really gets a lot of hands that have a lot of equity to fold, and he does flop the best of it though.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some action here with 2 overs and a gutter.
Carlos here almost betting the size of the pot.
And he's going to get snapped.
Wow, and 9 here will just be disastrous for Carlos with his top pair, top kicker. 6 on the turn doesn't help anyone. Carlos doesn't like to check back, giving Randy a free card. That could be a disaster here. And a 9 on the river, giving Randy the nut straight.
I was not a fan of that check back.
Yeah,
I mean, she has a lot of hearts and straight draw hands there.
I agree. Yeah, this
and you let her get one for free.
And this is just going to be a shove, I think, by Randy.
Yeah,
With holding the nuts, will she try to get some value, maybe? I mean, Carlos has 1.1 million. I could see a min click here. I could see that. Try to get some value from those 2 pair, top pair holdings.
All right.
See if she makes the min click. She obviously has the best hand holding the nuts here, and it looks like slightly above a min click, 1.2 million, and a snap by Carlos. Wow.
That's the nuts.
And Randy getting max value with that hand.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if he continues and bets that turn, he's almost out, right? I mean, he was chip leader by a small margin.
Yeah, I think that check on the turn is going to haunt him on this final table now. Knowing that
honestly, I think it saved him chips, as bizarre as that sounds. I mean, she's not holding that hand.
You think she might have just like
shoved?
Shoved?
2 overs in the gutter. I don't think she's shoving, but she's calling pretty much any wager besides all in on that turn.
Wow. Big pot for Randy. Now with a massive chip lead. Taking the chip lead from Carlos. Carlos flopping the best fit though. That run out at 9, giving Randy the nut straight.
It's the biggest hand of the final table this far.
Yeah. Wow, that really shifted the hand with the whole final table. And Zazimo just like, wow. Now I'm really glad I have my seat next to Randy. Chat going crazy for Randy.
I had to call.
Yeah, Michael.
I think she may have just said if you shove on the turn, I have to call. So
You played it bad? I agree.
What a needle from
your
Randy.
chips, throw some needles your way.
Gosh, we're getting big, guys.
Randy with the table tuck. Wow.
Well, yeah, she's got to be feeling great. She's got almost every chip. Yeah, she's commented on how big the blinds are getting. And she's got the whole table covered, I believe, right?
Oh, for sure. I think she has the whole table covered if they combined all their chips, too.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah.
She's got them covered, yeah, completely.
Zuma just not having it.
Yeah, I would say she probably has like 65% of the chips.
Zuma here raising under the gun with ace-8. Getting king 10 to fold on the button, which is surprising. But does take down the chips. Mark looking for a better spot.
Yep, he's going to have to pick in the next 3 hands, I'd say, here.
Though he does have more chips than Carlos now at this point, very slightly. So if he's gunning for that pay jump, that might be part of his plan here.
Yeah, she's sitting about 55% of the chips.
Wow. You know, though I wouldn't count Zozima out yet. He's quite a good player. Though it will be tough to catch up, to make up that chip deficit. He'd have to knock out every other player, and then we'd have quite a game here. You see that by Delano Jackson? She calls the turn if you bet her children.
Oh, I see it now, yeah.
Yeah,
No, I was looking at the other comment. Oh. Someone's calling out saying you didn't do your homework on the diaper, but I thought that you had.
What's up? I didn't know. No, I knew about it. Yeah. Oh, that's Julian. He's another dealer here. He's just trolling me. Actually, it's funny because every time he's been like walking around my back while I'm playing cash games, I'll wake up with kings. Because I was playing cash like early in the week, and he's like giving me crap walking around behind me, and then I'm like, hey, no, you're my good luck charm, and I look down at kings, win that hand, and then just earlier today or tonight, he walks by, he's giving me some crap, and then look down and see kings again. So King Carlos here shoving the cutoff with king 8 off.
Yeah, you gotta fold.
And chips up a little bit there.
I mean, Johnny, Carlos, and Mark, I think, just really think they're fighting for 3rd place right now. Which is a nice jump from
Which
5th.
is a $3,000 pay jump from 5th to 3rd. So, you know, not insignificant given the buy-in for the tournament. About 10 of your buy-ins.
Yeah, you're playing for free the next 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Good.
And I imagine that's how a lot of tournament players think of their winnings, right? When they win these, they get these big scores, they're like, I can keep playing the same buy-in tournament, you know, even longer, you know, try to get another big score.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look it.
Did I miss one hand?
Yeah.
I'm a nurse. We can do that.
There you go.
But Carlos only has 9A off. He does have the button here. He doesn't like to just call on the button, inviting the other stacks in the small and big blind. Let's see what Johnny here decides to do. Set the call along here. Mark with the ace-3 off on the button. Does decide to shove with a lot of dead money out there. Not much more to call, but I mean, he does have 9 high. This would be a very interesting call by Zozima if he does make it. If it folds through for Mark here, that'd be quite the chip up for him. Almost a full double.
Nobody called your own hand? I have to start working out. I'm out of breath from running to the bathroom.
And Zozima does like the call. Mark at risk here. And it is a coin flip. Mark at risk here. And he flops trips.
You're dead.
Oh, straight draw on the turn.
Comes
And
right in.
wow. And Zozimo
That
hits
is
the runner straight to eliminate Mark in 5th place. Wow. Nothing like flopping trips and just getting runner done, huh?
And the chip leaders coming to this final table have been running well.
All right, y'all. I might have to take my jacket.
Unfortunate run out from Mark, though he does go out in 5th place for $4,554. Congratulations to him. I know he was pretty card dead for most of the final table, so I'm sure he's pretty glad with how he did there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Enough to not be able to play? It might get you. Well, it wouldn't put you in
And
the
we're only
hospital.
left with the left half of the table now, as the right half is just running
What a way
terribly.
to go. That's awesome.
Carlos gonna be the big blind by himself with his hand.
Nice hand. Well, nice catch. I can't, well, that was very lucky. I mean, I don't know about.
So Zemo and Randy just rivering people tonight. Wow.
I'm going to raise.
Randy announcing raise with Jack 9. I think a reasonable hand to open with, now that they're four-handed. So Zemo here waking up with the premium.
Oh, here we go. I see him just flatting here in position.
I was literally about to say that. Yeah, it's like I could see a flat here to try to trap Randy.
There's no reason to play it. I mean, you two are the chip leaders.
He does like to go all in,
Wow.
which might. And Johnny does fold ace-10 four-handed, though he is dominated at the moment, and Randy will fold her jack 9.
Super interesting play to just vow to just go all in there.
Right, because
I mean,
if you
she's
do
allowed to
get
have,
called,
she's allowed to have jacks, queens, kings,
yeah.
aces.
If you do get called, you're just completely crushed, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's no advantage.
Yeah, definitely an interesting line there. I think both of us in the booth would have definitely liked to see a flat call. Maybe set the trap. Because you know, she could have some weaker aces there opening. If an ace comes, you get a whole stack.
Yeah, I mean, you're not fishing for information there. You're just, I mean, you're only getting called by a hand that beats you there.
Right, especially against the chip leader. It would have just been a disaster if he had aces or kings, right?
Yeah, and then Johnny just would have short stacked himself almost to play. That's up.
But he does take the pot, and Johnny here going all in with the jack 7 of diamonds.
Carlos has dominated.
Though he does have the best hand, he has to worry about the pay jumps at this point, being the shortest stack.
Huh?
Doesn't want to call off his tournament life with jack 10.
No, you can call if your check stack with that. That was.
Iron Bite AD. Put some weight on the other side of the table, please. I know, yeah. This
I don't want to tell you how to play.
it's been a very left-sided tournament final table.
No, the jack 10. Hot up here. Flowers, I guess. Take the shirt off, take the jacket off, you'll be fine. Yeah, if I wasn't, like, look, it is like a wild beater.
There you go, Johnny.
Can't do that.
Johnny on the spot.
75? 80.
Johnny's one of our regulars here at TCH. I actually play with him quite a bit in like 2-5. He obviously enjoys tournaments. And he does quite well a lot of the time. Let's see who we got in the chat here.
We're up to 631.
Wow, so yeah, they got 687 on mine. If you're just now joining us here tonight, we got the final four left of our 20K guaranteed tournament, $365 buy-in, as we got a little different angle here. And as you can see, the left side of the table has been dominating this final table this whole night, as we have Carlos in seat 1, Randy in seat 2, Zozimo in seat 3, and Johnny in seat 4. Thank you all for joining us. We got 687 of y'all in the chat. Appreciate it. If y'all are enjoying what y'all are seeing and hearing, make sure you give us that like and subscribe. You currently got Derek in the booth, joined by Nick Rigby.
How's it going, everybody?
And Carlos does like to go all in under the gun, which is also the cutoff.
10% of a stack. I would imagine he's probably going to call off here. Nope.
Let's fold the jack 9.
No one's really forcing the issue here. That's a nice chip up.
When just taking out the blinds almost doubles your stack. That is, yeah.
So with these Saturday tournaments, do they play these out to finish often?
A lot of the times they chop it heads up. The most I've ever seen them chop, I think, was 5 ways, which that blew my mind because I think it was like our 3rd biggest prize pool ever. But most of the time it goes to 2 or 3, I think. And I'd say like 30% of the time they'll play down to a winner. Carlos does like to go all in. Randy snap calling the ace-8 of diamonds. Randy was 60% of the equity. Actually, a pretty big pot here. With an ace on the flop, Randy running like fire tonight.
That'll turn him dead.
And that is it for Carlos. He will be out in 4th place. Congratulations to him. Randy taking even more chips out of into her stack.
This is yours, sir. Thank you.
Carlos out in 4th place with $6,145. Congratulations to him. And congratulations to Johnny, the short stack, for making another pay jump.
Did you not pick one person?
Yeah, he has grinded his way to a 3rd place finish
No,
here.
on the final table.
Well, I guess at least 3rd place finish, right?
Right.
Jim?
This would be quite the comeback if Johnny
didn't
could
knock
climb from 8
anybody
big
out.
How
blinds.
about this guy out?
Okay. Yeah,
This guy right here.
you did. Okay.
I just want to see it play out. I always like to see, you know, a true winner for the tournament.
I'll
You know.
give you that. I'll give you that.
I imagine if it's Zazimo and Randy, it will not be a long heads-up match.
With how aggressive they play. Yeah.
You're cute.
No small man?
No, he was dead. I knocked him out.
Some of the hand analysis from my buddies back home is pretty funny. They're with us watching. They're just scratching their heads on some of these. I imagine we'll definitely be back down there for sure.
Oh, back here, the Dallas. Yeah, I'm actually, depending on if there's an open seat, I'm actually considering playing tomorrow too. So we'll see how that goes.
You're not.
Because last I heard, I think they only had about 4 or 5 people signed up to play it. But, you know, it usually fills up pretty quickly. They'll like make an announcement to the whole room, like, hey, we have some open seats on the live stream, and then they'll just get,
Everyone wants to be
flooded. Yeah,
like a TV star at that point.
yeah.
Like a YouTube star. Yeah, it definitely wasn't good for my game in the series once I got in the main feature table. I mean, it was a blast. I know a lot of my friends had fun, and obviously, you know, I created some pretty memorable spots.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it obviously exposed my play pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought would be a good thing, like I said. If I ever would have started, you know, if I would have caught some of these hands that Randy's catching right now at that juncture, I mean, I would just steamrolled. And that's exactly what she's doing right now.
Yeah, you definitely made a name for yourself. And I think a lot of people were aware of it too. Like you said.
It's interesting because usually they pick a spot where you know, you're going to be on the feature if you have like a high name professional or like a celebrity at your table. Our table is just absolute fireworks, and that's the only reason we went up there.
And I haven't heard any discussions of a chop just yet, so that's good news for y'all in the chat. You know, a longer stream. You get to spend a little more time in the booth. And Johnny here with a dominating 6. And a jack high flop. Not much for anyone here. No backdoors. There's some backdoor straight draws out there. 2 in the turn. Gives Johnny a 5 as his only out.
So your nickname is Data?
Yeah, the very first live stream I played on was about 3-4 months ago. It was just a fun 1-3 live stream, and I was going around with some of my coworkers, some of the dealers. I was like, I kind of want to have like a nickname on there. I don't want to just have like Derek on there. And one of my coworkers, he suggested to go with Data, because I don't know. Have you ever seen the Goonies?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the gadget Asian kid in there was named Data. So
Yeah,
I think that was what we went with. Actually, my sister brought up a point. She thought I got that from Star Trek, because I think in the Star Trek Next Generation, one of the robots or something is named Data.
I think so, but I never watched any
Yeah,
Star
I never
Trek.
watched it either, but she said, oh yeah, I thought it was Data from Star Trek, because he actually tried to learn poker to better study human like thought processes and stuff. So like that's what she thought. I was like, oh, that actually sounds a lot cooler than some character from a kid's movie, but it's kind of stuck. So now anytime someone recognizes me, he's like, hey, Data, how's it going? You playing on the live stream tonight? Are you commentating?
You have a good ace?
Which, I mean, I haven't really commentated that often, but I mean, I've played on like 4 or 5 live streams, and it's really interesting because, like, especially when I'm dealing out here and playing with other people in the poker room, a lot of people recognize my voice or recognize what I look like, and they're like, hey, there's definitely, I'm sure you ran into that quite a bit walking around the Rio.
Yeah. I went back the day after I got knocked out, and yeah, I was getting stopped a lot. For
Yeah, it's like,
pictures
hey,
and stuff
Dirty
like
Diaper,
that.
Dirty Diaper. Yeah. It's kind of eerie, right? When
Yeah.
after you play on a live stream, a lot of people recognize you. And it's like, it's a big community, but it's also kind of a small at the same time. Like everyone seems like to know each other.
Randy's just running hot right now.
I could see a call here from Zemo, just one
Yeah, he's
street.
got to like that turn.
An ace would be disastrous. 9 on the river does bail Zemo out, I think.
Comes running spades. We're going to check.
And Randy, with a better 2 pair, with her 10, wins this pot.
Yeah, very interesting that she doesn't lead out for some type of value there.
Ace coming out.
Yeah, especially 3-handed. He could have a lot of 8x or even some 10 holdings that she's chopping with that she could get to fold.
What do you want?
I think there's kind of an unspoken understanding right now that they just want Johnny to go away.
Johnny's a fighter though. He's not going to give up. If I know him, he's going to battle to the last big blind.
This is a big hand here. Him in the big blind right here. Randy's probably raising many hands. That probably should be one of them. She opts not to and
Man,
chose correctly.
If Johnny just says anything here, king high, ace high, he's probably going to go with it. And, nope. Shows the 9-4. Johnny, sure, I'm glad to not have any hand there. We'll just run straight into the queens of Zemo.
That's too bad.
Got a question here from Julian, one of our dealers here at TCH. Rigby, did you see Ben Deitch's vlog or hear from Reno natives that the 3 deuces originally called the skinny?
It just keeps on coming around.
Hold on one second. I got to read this again here.
Yeah, Julian.
Did you see Ben Deitch's vlog or hear from Reno natives that the 3 deuces originally called the skinny? I did not watch his vlog. I've seen people mention that on some of the YouTube videos or on Twitter. I've seen that. I'll probably just shoot that down real fast. If you did what I did with the 2-3 off,
It's the dirty diaper.
in the main
right?
event, it's now the diaper.
Yeah.
I don't care if it was a skinny before. We're
Oh
calling
my
it the
gosh.
diaper now.
And Zemo just getting all the pocket pair premiums here with aces, raising 210K. Johnny going with it with 10-7 of diamonds. And Randy comes along too. Wow, we have a big pot here. Wow.
And she's a mystery hand.
Wait, does she? Did she re-raise? Oh yeah, she did. There's like 4 or 5. What's going on here? So 210 to 355. Just the min click. It looks like. What's going on here?
And he's just.
Oh no, she just called Johnny's all. Okay.
Okay.
It looked like that makes more sense.
Exactly the amount you raised.
So we can raise or not?
Can they re-raise?
I wasn't here to see the beginning action. What was the beginning action?
He raised to 2. What did you raise to?
210 to 355.
So it was 40, 80, 80, and he made it 210.
210.
How do we
And
do?
then he made it 355. It reopened.
Yeah, it's open.
He has to isolate here at this point.
I don't think I would have shoved though. I mean, I think I'm trying to get more value out of these aces.
From
Just trying to
Randy,
create
yeah.
That's the dry side pot.
Not much there for Johnny. And I think deuce on the turn seals Johnny's fate with an inconsequential 7 on the
That's a pretty
river.
dry board. You have to imagine that he would have gotten some more value out of Randy there.
Eliminating Johnny in 3rd place for $7,578. Congratulations to him. Really maneuvering and playing the short stack ninja for this final table, it seems like. And getting
After
a
that
3rd
hand,
place
they're very
finish.
close in chips, yeah.
And we could see quite the final table heads-up battle here. With Randy with 4.7 million and Dazima with 3.6 million chips. All right, now that we're heads up, chat, let's see some ones in the chat.
Big one.
If you think Randy's going to win this final table, and 2, if you think Zozima is going to win. They're pretty close in chip stack, and they're both very aggressive players, so we can see some fireworks here.
Was he? I think I was a button last time. Was I the button or what were you?
Dash for Glory, what was the buy-in? Yeah, it's $365.
Maybe I was a button. I was a button.
Do they, when they chop, do they often chop equally or equity chop?
They can decide whatever they want. They can ask the term director Travis to run the numbers. He has an app on his phone, so a lot of times they will opt to do that. But I've definitely seen where someone have over a million, like a million more than the other two, but they're just like, let's just do an even 3-way chop, just because like they feel like it's being nice.
Yeah.
So I've seen both.
Oh, it's 100.
Looks like they are going to opt to play a few hands here.
Just keep it.
Sorry, I did.
No. Wait, sorry. It's good.
I just like to.
I'm just asking you right now because I'm started.
You guys are at 1,500 yet?
In second place, I know it was just up on the screen. What was it, about 12 or 13?
12,000, yeah, 12, little under 13.
And even when I'm behind, I don't like to talk. It has nothing to do with money.
So she's holding her ground, and they will play it out.
I think we got confirmation from Randy just on the audio there. She is not going to chop. So we're going to see a heads up battle here, guys. Let's get a like. Let's get some likes in there for the heads up battle here. No chop. Hashtag no chop. Kelly Oz, are they chopping? No, based on what Randy just said, she says she will not chop regardless of how many chips she has. Yeah, I think they're wanting to play it out, play for the trophy. And it is a significant pay jump between second and first, over $7,000. The pay jump between second and first is the payout for third. Very top heavy structure. As Zimia here wakes up with an ace on the button, a premium heads up.
400.
Axel, do you want high-low?
Oh, this is brutal.
Oh, wow.
Zach, you want high-low?
So Zima raising the 400K, though. Randy with a dominating ace in the big blind is gonna, looks like she's gonna put in the 3-bet.
JJ, you still want one too?
Even though Zozima does have an ace, I think I just fold this hand, Let's not commit too many chips.
Yeah, I mean, it's early in the heads up, and I mean,
There's
his
still
hand's
plenty of hands
dominated
to
in a lot of
play.
spots.
Yeah.
The only thing he's got going for him is in position, but
I think if you were to play optimally here, it's pretty much just a shove or fold at this point. If you do think she's getting a little out of line with the 3 bets.
But it's a heavy 3-bet too. It's not.
Yeah, it's a full 3x. It's no small amount.
And he'll make the raise.
Folds and showed the ace, with Randy showing the ace back. Little gamesmanship from Randy.
I would like to see a do shown by Randy there.
The little does she know, Zozima's ace was not that great, so I think a little sigh of relief for Zozima there to see an ace shown there, knowing his ace is probably dominated.
Oh, shit. We'll all both hit it. I'm 50. Yeah. The dealer's always going to be the ball. The dealer's going to have the action. So remember, the dealer's always going to have action. Table 4.
Zozima and Randy here, both chip leaders coming into this final table, are now the final 2 as we go heads up for the title. And Randy outflopping Zozima here with middle pair. Maybe she will continue betting here. And takes it down. So I think I guess for tomorrow, are you going to head up here early and play a little bit before the stream, or are you just going to come out? And
No, I'll play the stream.
do you know what the buy-in limits are going to be for the 5-ton?
I think there might be a 5 cap on it.
5,000 cap. Again, getting confirmation from the booth. Looks like the $5,000 cap.
Yeah, I don't know how often people opt to play that deep in it. Is that
Our 510 here is actually uncapped, so I think it's playing slightly smaller than what it normally would, but I'm sure they'll. Oh wow! And Randy here flopping trips, getting led into.
I would imagine probably 2K is going to be a common buy-in.
Yeah, probably on the lower end. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's a great lineup. And just to give y'all in the chat some more insight in tomorrow's stream, it looks like we do have confirmation that JD, a regular in our Tuesday high-stakes game, will be there. Donkey, an old face from live streams in the past, he's making a return to our live stream. And who else? Oh, Heisenberg, too. Mr. Patrick himself. And Galoo. Wow, what a lineup. Should be a great game. Zozima continuing his aggression on the turn, representing the ace or possibly the queen, but does get raised by Randy here with the best hand. And at this point, Zozima is probably just going to Hollywood a little bit and get rid of his hand.
I mean, she's just
running over this final table. It shows the queen. Pez, yep, Jay Diggles is going to be there tomorrow. Yeah, that's going to be quite the lineup. Good mix of action and regular players there. So it should be a fun one. I agree, Pez. Yeah, it is quite a solid lineup. Should be a good game.
Very interesting here.
So Randy here limping on the button with a 10-4 suited. Gets raised by Zozimo in the big blind with queen 9 off. And it's Zozimo's turn to flop trips.
And she picks
though
up
Randy
hearts.
does have a flush draw. Ace on the
I think that
turn.
was an all-in snap, right? Or no, is it just check? Okay.
And Zozimo decides to slow play the flop.
We saw that turn very fast. She's now picked up a gutter too. Wow.
And quick fold from Randy. No thought there.
Very surprising.
Yeah, I feel like she could definitely continue there.
What
But
was his sizing on the turn?
500K. So it's 400. It's like 2/3, 3/4 pot.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna opt to limp
And have that much
flat call raise,
yeah, you're folding a lot of equity.
That's the board you're looking for.
Yeah, I agree.
You're trying to see a river with the 10-4.
I guess are you familiar with any of our cash game live streams? Have you watched any of them at all?
I've watched some of the highlight videos.
So I'm sure you've seen.
I was hoping Bildo from what I saw would be playing.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely an interesting story with him, but yeah, I don't think we're going to see him anytime soon.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, he was definitely all the talk of TCH when he was here, for sure. But yeah, you'll get some regulars in there. You got JD, you got Heisenberg, Donkey. I mean, that's a self-proclaimed name for himself. Imagine in a poker game, you hear someone say they call themselves Donkey. You know,
Yeah, they're a killer. Well, that's like a guy named Tiny. He's usually a giant, right?
Deal. Deal.
Yeah, and I'm sure if you've seen some of the highlights, we have some action pots for sure. Some big pots. Still 76. Thanks for the sub. And Yelnats, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Pez saying, I want to go shake Rigsby's hand. His diaper did me solid. I guess he's playing cash out there right now. Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, no, so Pez, one of our chat pros in here, he played on a live stream not too long ago where he makes a massive hero call on the river with bottom pair, with 3 deuce, and he ends up winning. The other guy was bluffing at the time, so he won, he won in like I think it was like a $1,200 pot in a 1-3 game. Hero calling a 3 deuce. So yeah, I'll have to show you that highlight video once you get it.
Was that post main event or no? Or was that
yes, post main event. So I think he was doing it for you, for sure.
Yeah, there's a buddy of mine that actually he played another like big mid WSOP circuit event recently, and
he just started throwing diaper every.
Yeah, he won a big hand. It came like running deuces. He had the diaper.
Max for 1-2. Max 55.
Hey, any publicity for the game is good publicity, right?
Right.
Gary, you want 1-2?
Yeah, I mean that's what, and I think that's what everyone loved about it too. Is like make poker fun again, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Like I remember like the early 2000s. It was like fun to watch. You know, it was just a whole cast of characters. Now you have a bunch of internet clickers.
Yeah,
they have sunglasses,
very
hoods up.
pro-heavy.
Yeah, I mean, it's all GTO like play. I mean, people want to see people bluff with the dirty diaper. They want to see table talk.
I imagine that's why I probably shifted off of ESPN a little bit. It was probably not as entertaining as it used to.
Oh, 100%. That's what I was talking to my buddy about. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, people really aren't tuning into it unless you're like
unless you're a poker player yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the whole point of having it on TV is you want to get people that don't normally play tournaments regularly or cash games regularly, be like, oh, that looks like fun. You know, I want to play the 3 deuce, and like, as we say, the 3 deuce that would have flopped trips, but.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened when Moneymaker won it. I mean, you had that whole effect of
seeing a recreational player win a whole tournament. You know, brings in a lot of crowds. We're going to hear leading with the 8 high, getting called by Zozima's jack high, and Rosima rivering top pair. Let's see if Rainey continues her aggression. I believe he'll snap call pretty much any size bet here.
I think it's check, fold, or jam, and yeah.
And at this point, he does have to go for some value, rivering top pair, decent kicker. We'll get the fold from Randy. Nice hand to Zemo. He is not giving up. He's going to battle out here to the end. Randy with the mystery hand, gonna limp on the button. Both of them with pretty raggedy hands. It's interesting to see if they can get some action.
We're gonna want to see a 5 in the window.
Yeah. Let's see a 5 to give them some straight outs, and an ace 8-8 flop is not gonna give them anything to work with. No, Randy's gonna continue her aggression here, giving her the pot.
Sorry, we are 5.
And I think based on these two players, I think Randy has more experience playing heads up, so I think she is advantaged in this matchup at the moment. I think she understands that aggressive playing heads up is very important, and I think that's definitely a topic that at least like a skill level that a lot of people don't have is playing heads up. A lot of people like to chop when it gets to 3 or 4 players, and
yeah, but how often do you play heads up?
Very rarely, yeah. And I think that's how I always encourage players, if like you get to the final table, not to chop, because like it's good experience to be able to play, 2, 3, even, or 3 or 4 handed, even heads up. You don't know when you're ever gonna be able to do that again.
Yeah, I mean, probably 10 years ago when online poker was super heavy, I'd probably play 4 or 5 heads-up tables at once, just all the time.
Yeah, and it's a completely different monster, right? And it's a good experience to have. Randy here not flopping anything. The Zemo does have middle pair. She looks for a very large sizing, 800,000 to 900K. Probably has Zemo scratching his head a little bit. Though she did raise pre-flop, and he does shove it on her. Wow. And as we were talking about how Randy does have more experience maybe playing heads up, Zemo understanding the dynamic that, flopping a pair heads up is very good.
Yeah.
Very hard for her to have a queen, and a lot of the value hands that she's betting here are have queens in there, and it's hard for her to connect.
Yeah, I mean, that sizing too is pretty susceptible from her. I mean, with the 800K, and he kind of smelled something was fishy right there and opted to go all in, but
Randy here caught with her hand in the cookie jar as Zemo sniffs it out and puts the element.
I mean,
Whoa, this would be an interesting call.
If she would truly think he's doing this before, I mean, she could be thinking he's doing this with 2-3, 3-6. It is heads up. Why is he, just shoving? I mean, he's either got a queen or he's got 2-3, 3-6, 6-7.
Yeah, I guess I kind of misunderstood the action here. So it looks like Zemo did limp on the button, and Randy raised.
Yeah.
And Zemo calling her raise.
So he does have a lot of open enders here.
So she does block the open ender with the 6.
Yep.
Nice hand for Zemo. Does a big chip up, bringing the chip lead a little, or the chip deficit a little bit closer now. So Zemo battling back a bit there, now at 3.4 million with Randy just under 5. Just one all-in between the two players will give the other player a significant chip lead. Randy calling on the button with the mystery hand of Zemo, waking up with a premium heads up with King 9 of diamonds. Gonna decide to re-raise her, and she does fold mystery hand. Probably not too strong if there's a limp on the button. So what are your plans for the rest of the night?
I think my friend and I will probably do some bar hopping.
Oh,
right,
very
right
cool.
after this concludes. Yep.
Saturday night. I'm sure it's gonna be a great time out there. What area were y'all deciding going on? Or going to?
Not quite sure. Any recommendations?
Yeah, Deep Ellum. I think it's pretty relatively close to here. That's a good area. The parking is pretty miserable over there, I will say, but that's pretty popular bar area.
Our Uber driver told us that earlier, and then when I mentioned it at the one table, a couple people looked at me and said, "What are you, 65?" So,
I mean,
so I don't know.
That's an interesting statement. I mean, there's definitely a younger crowd out there. I wouldn't count that in.
Yeah, I can't remember where they said they go to. Henderson, maybe, or
I'm not too familiar with that, but no, definitely there's some nice bars out there in Deep Ellum. That's definitely an interesting statement. Wonder if they were trolling you. Randy continuing her aggression on the button, raising the jack-8 off on the button, and Ozimo shoving it in her face with ace-8, dominating her 8. Really putting the elements,
I don't see her gambling here.
yeah, on your opponent, and they are pretty much tied in chips now. This has been quite the heads-up battle. I think at one point, Randy did have about 4 million more chips than Zozimo, but he just battled back. And now they were neck and neck as we get to the conclusion of this final table. Yeah, it looks like Pez throwing in some insight here. Said Henderson area isn't that bad. So Zima here waking up with a premium heads up with King Jack off.
He said, "Rigby, come down the Ellum, beer on me." And then
yeah.
quickly corrected himself to say 1 beer.
Oh. Pez a very nice guy. Regular here in the stream, in the chat, and as a player. He plays a lot of tournaments here. And I think just like that, Zozimo takes the chip lead, though they're very close.
Not many big blinds on the table now. Like, what is there, about 80 bigs total? So, I mean, yeah, hands like ace-8, you've got to be auto-ripping.
And which he did elect to do. So, I mean, great play by Zozimo there. I think he definitely understands the dynamics of tournament poker, looks like. It looks like Julian, our esteemed dealer here, Deep Ellum is popping. The guys that said they go to Henderson are frat stars who have their daddy's credit cards.
No, go that way, damn it. You're trying to go down.
Surrender or what?
Black Cat Poker, can you guys see SpaceX launching from the card house? I didn't even know that was going on today.
SpaceX launching the courthouse.
Oh, SpaceX is in Austin? Yeah, so yeah, this is the Dallas card room, so I mean, the Austin room might be able to see it, so I don't know.
Is there a Rick's Cabaret nearby?
Oh. Yes, this area is quite well known for those kind of establishments. Yeah. Yeah, definitely when you mention to people like, oh yeah, the card house is like right off of Harry Hines Boulevard, you get it like a kind of a weird look because this area is very known for those kind of businesses. But in our little bubble here in the Sand Moon Center, it's a little bit less risque, I guess I'll say.
I do like the feature here that you can get bottles of liquor Uber eated into the card room.
Oh yes, yeah. That is a.
You don't get that in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
you can't
no.
Uber eat any alcohol.
Oh really? Yeah, that must have been a pandemic thing because I know, like, you know, like, are you familiar with Taco Cabana?
What is it?
Taco Cabana. Are you familiar with that restaurant?
No.
It's like a fast food Tex-Mex place. But during the pandemic, I mean, they sell margaritas there. But during the pandemic, they started doing to-go margaritas, where they'll hand you like the little small tequila bottle, and then give you the mixer in the cup, and then they're like, all right, they'll like seal the top, and like, all right, you can have this in the car. Just make sure you don't open anything. You know, it's for the open container rules and whatnot. But yeah, I think that the whole thing with Ubering liquor around, I think that was another thing for the pandemic as well.
Yeah, it was interesting. We wanted to do some Vegas bombs, and my buddy was like, well, it says we can get just all the ingredients here. So the waitress took them and put them in the fridge for us.
Awesome. Yeah, no, and our establishment here is BYOB, if drinking is your thing.
Taco Cabana for breakfast.
Yeah, they got some good breakfast tacos here. And wow, and a big hand from Randy here to sign the slow play. Wow. And top set for Randy, middle pair for Zemo. This will be just a disaster if another king comes on the turn.
Yeah, he could be in some trouble here. Just like a rogue 4 being turned, something like that. I mean,
yeah.
Could be disastrous.
8 on the turn doesn't really help Zozima too much. Zozima continuing his aggression with his middle pair. Or the second pair.
And when she flats here, I mean, he's got to be thinking, what does she have? I mean, Ace, King, 6 rainbow.
Really trying to sell that she has a real decision to make here. That we both know here, she has the nuts.
True Hollywood in here.
The true Hollywood.
But yeah, if he's buying it, she has a weak ace. This could be a check, and he should check back river, but he could end up ripping on her. That's assuming she just flats here, which I think we both think she will.
All she is thinking about right now is Vegas and the freaking Mirage.
Yeah, she's gonna raise. I guess maybe she's scared by that second spade. But I mean, he's the aggressor. If he's gonna catch running spades, God bless him.
I guess with his continued aggression on the turn, she's really hoping she pick up some kind of 2 pair with his king, or maybe even set over set, which is highly unlikely heads up. But that she's just raised from value, trying to get a call from another 2 pair holding, or maybe even another ace.
Not a fan of the hit.
And Zozima rips it in.
Wow.
Randy with the nuts, gonna snap call, of course, and it is over here. And it looks like if our graphics are right, Randy's gonna win this tournament and take home $19,500. Congratulations! And the king on the river, anyways, is going in anyways. And congratulations to Randy. She takes home $19,524. And let's not discount Zozima's play here. He did very well tonight. Really playing his stack. Takes home a nice prize of $12,069.
Yeah, they definitely both played their big stacks very well at this final table.
And the 2 big sets going to the final table both end out first and second. So as we end here tonight, thank you guys so much for joining us. It's been a fun ride. Nick, thanks for joining me. It's been great having you here. And make sure y'all tune in tomorrow at 6 o'clock for our 5:10 stream, which is featuring our main event sensation, Nick Rigby himself with the dirty diaper. Thank y'all for joining us. Have a good night, and see y'all next time. This is Derek signing off, and Nick here. Thanks for joining me.
The bad beat is coming back. And just like last time, everyone is going to be a winner. That's right, if you're in any Texas Card House location, when it hits, you get $100 cash. And with each day crossed off the calendar, the bad beat hand gets easier and easier to hit. So this winter season, why not get out of the cold and be playing poker at Texas Card House? Houston, Dallas, Rio Grande Valley, or Austin. No matter which poker table at Texas Card House you sit, you can and will win when the bad beat hits. We will give you cold, hard cash, $100 into your hand. Tens of thousands of dollars were handed out last time. Don't get left in the cold with Texas Card House.